Greetings from home, dear ones. Oh, that is not quite right, but close. This day is so full of joy for all of you. We have told you over and again how magical you are on this planet. And yet, your own evidence of your daily lives does not always support the magic that we speak of. Yet that is about to change. There's some very interesting things that are taking place as you approach this cross in the timeline. When you pass this energy, you will start to see new capabilities within your cells. That is the magic part that we have been waiting to see. You understand, dear ones, that you live on the planet of imperfection. So in order for you to have an experience here as a spirit, because spirits are perfect, you have nothing to learn as a spirit. You have nothing to gain as a spirit until you come down here and divide your perfection so that you have some imperfection or some vacancies in your own energies. Well, we know it's difficult to completely understand, but we will be telling you more of this as we go forward and explaining a little bit more of the multidimensionality that all of you live in every single day. But here's the interesting part. In order to really have an experience on planet Earth and pretend to be imperfect and pretend to be human, it was also necessary for you to hide many of your own gifts. So, it's not necessarily that you sent one over in this dimension or this dimension. Many of your gifts, in order to play the game of pretending to be a human, have been shut off completely by your own design. You did not want to spoil the game. What would happen if you came here and you had all these abilities to create magic? Well, we're speaking to you. You are here on the planet. It sounds like a wonderful idea to you. But what about your spirit while it's planning an incarnation? While it's planning the opportunity to raise its vibration, to find the different parts of its perfection? To do that and to set up the obstacles that can actually help you to gain what you need from this experience of planet Earth. Well, dear ones, you have changed so much now. You've passed the doorway to where planet Earth was soon to be the late great planet Earth. Not anymore. Now, and it never was going to die. It was going to be here. It was humanity which was leaving, and roughly 97% of all life forms on planet Earth, the way that you describe life forms. So, dear ones, this was going to be a total reset, but you kept it here. You awoke from the dream in the 11th hour and started taking your power. You started to awaken to who you were and move past it. You went through the 12, 12, 12 and found yourself in great confusion, most of you, because things did not work the same as before. And yet you brought all your tools over to use in the same way, and they don't always seem to work. Now what is taking place is you are passing a new alignment, as all of humanity can now step past this next level and start balancing things. That is the reason that there seems to be so much turmoil on your planet right now. There are so many wars going on. There are so many people speaking their truth, sometimes forcefully, sometimes standing in the energy. There are so many things being uncovered that have been hidden. All of these things come forward at the same time, and you feel overwhelmed. Well, here's the good news, dear ones. All of you have a set of gifts. And we say that intentionally because it is not a singular gift that you carry. You carry gifts in a certain area, which usually span a wide range of gifts. Now, some of these can be perceived to be very magical once you harness them. Now, these have been quite easily unplugged from your experience on Earth. But the beautiful part about it, they're starting to be plugged back in. And one by one, you'll see levels of energy starting to come to you. And all of a sudden, you'll be able to do something which previously you've tried very hard to do and not been able to, or not been able to complete. There is a new form of instantaneous magic. Does that sound wonderful to you? It takes it out of the timeline because it's instantaneous. Any moment you wish, you can literally anchor this new light. Now, it is something very familiar with you. Don't think that it is a new gift that you've never seen before, because it isn't. Even though you have unplugged these parts of yourself and your own capabilities, they still seem to work their way into your lives in some way. So chances are good that you will be familiar with at least the general area that your gifts will start to rise. But things that you've tried to do before, we encourage you to go back and over the next 4 months to push again, to try to find a new way to anchor this magic. And along with the alignments and the timeline cross and everything else that is taking place, you will feel a little bit of the wind at your back. And that's all that you need, is a little bit of encouragement. That is the most important piece that we can all give you at this point in your lives. So know that this magic is continuing on a whole new way, and it will start surfacing its way into your life in very small pieces to begin with. Very small remembrances. You may have an idea that you have to move this large piece from here to here, and you're thinking, well, how can we move that? Maybe we'll bring in a forklift. Maybe we'll bring in a tow truck, whatever it is, to move this from. And you may suddenly have a memory that you were able to move large things with only your mind. These are the ways that your gifts will surface as a spark of light at first, a memory into something that you knew that you could do, although you haven't done it in a very long time. Now, does that mean that you'll be able to connect all the dots and move this monstrous thing over here? You may. And only in recent months is that even possible to consider. But we tell you, with all the things that are taking place on Earth, your magic is awakening. Very simply, it is time to revisit your specialness, your uniqueness, all the parts of light that you have held within your being. Now, the question will be, what will you do with them? Will you use them in your work? Will you try to make a living with them? What will you use them for? Well, here's the beautiful part, dear ones. We have no judgment about what you use them for. For that is truly not our business, is it? The reality is, you're on the planet of free choice. You can use them for anything. And by using these for anything in any way, you will get good at the mastery process again. And we say that because this is a full circle for humanity. There were times when you were very good at connecting some of your mastery. But now the magic and your mastery will start to awaken in new ways. It's a beautiful time to be on planet Earth. Yes, there are difficulties. Yes, there are still challenges ahead. For you still have what we call generational hate on your planet. It's very difficult to deal with. It does not always go away very easily. It is very deeply ingrained in many people, the same way that love is ingrained in many people. The lack of love that you call hate can also be deeply ingrained. And what happens is very simply, something takes place, a war, an invasion, whatever it is, and people are displaced. People have to move. People have to have their lives disrupted in some way or another. Well, then they teach their children to hate those people that disrupted their lives. And it goes on and on and on. And it happens on both sides, dear ones, of an argument. Don't think that it is only one side and that there's one right side. This happens all the time on planet Earth. and these things bounce back and forth in your field of duality. But now you're able to ground some of the new magic. The magic is awakening within all of you. Now, what will you use it for? That is the question. Well, dear ones, this is your singular ray of light. This is the peace that only you could bring from home. You agreed to do it, you brought it here to earth, and you agreed to use it in some way. Well, up to this point, it has not been important. It's been unplugged. You couldn't access it even if you tried, although you have memories of it. You have memories of your magic. You thought they were dreams. You thought they were childhood memories of storybooks and things that you had read before. Why is it, dear ones, that suddenly when someone introduces a book about magic that it takes off? Look at Harry Potter. Look at some of the other things that have been brought into your life suddenly to bring new energies. Many of the books, the movies, the things that you have brought are here to help you remember your magic. And these are the times that you can now do that more clearly than ever before. You have the capabilities of anchoring and using something very dear to you. So look in your areas of passion. Look at how you think other people may have a gift of magic in some way. Is it going to be that it manifests and suddenly everybody on planet Earth will have magical powers of manifestation to be able to create everything? Boy, what a mess that would be. It will surface slowly, dear ones, but nonetheless, it is magic. You will not uncover it all in one effort or one memory. It will take some time. It took you a very long time to bury those memories, and now you will start uncovering them. Start first with your dream times. Here is what we will suggest. Many of these memories have been hidden just outside of your reach. This was intentional. It is a vibrational division, and here is your consciousness, and just outside of it is the housing of everything that connects you to all of your dimensions of time and space. They share the same housing. We know it's difficult for you to fully understand at this point, but just take our word for it that this has been just slightly out of your reach. What is happening is you're expanding. All of humanity is starting to expand energetically, and without even knowing it or studying to what it is. And by doing so, you have brought yourself closer to home than you've ever done before. Now is a time where these things that were just out of reach are starting to enter your reality in the slightest ways. These are the things that you can exercise. Practice your magic. You're not used to that, are you? What if you could just simply wave your hand, or maybe have a magic stick? Here, we don't have a magic stick, but we have a magic pen. So what if we were able to wave our magic and have something created for you? That was fun. I think I'll do that again. What if we could do that? Well, this is coming, dear ones, but in the meantime, until you have that capability of fully remembering, take the dreams, because that's how we will help you remember. Many of you have challenges with dreams. Some of you don't remember them. Some of you think you don't dream. But dear ones, when you relax your consciousness, your image of who you think you are, suddenly you become whole again. And this is happening during the dream times. This is your rejuvenation period. So before you go to bed, give yourself permission to remember your magic. That is all you need. Simply give yourself permission to receive what is being given to you and help you stir your own memories of your magic. And then from that point, it makes no difference what the actual dream was, because you have opened the door to receive the magic. It begins at that point. Some of you will have incredibly wild dreams of mastery, of all kinds of forms of magic. These are wonderful. But you've already had them, dear ones. Many of you had these as children. You thought it was a natural part of a growing up or a childhood process, and it is, but only because it is real. It was not imagined. It was not a story told to you by your parents to entertain you or to keep you distracted for a while. This was real. And this is the part that is starting to return to all of you. So the next year of 2015 is a time to remember your magic, to awaken from the dream and start using some of this consciously in your life in different ways. This will give you the opportunity to exercise the muscles necessary to fully integrate it into your life. These are the beautiful times on earth. Then you will start to see something very interesting, for you have suddenly opened the door to all this input. And everyone with a cell phone can take videos. You are in the time of no more secrets. You are also in the time of a flood of information, almost information overload. These will help you to clarify your purpose on earth. And what will happen is as you start integrating some of your magic into your life and starting to use some of these things in practical ways, all the white noise will start to clear. Now, does that mean that you won't have the problems that you're having in the world? Yes, you will. You'll still continue, but they will not enter your field unless you have a part to play. You will start to be able to get more focused on all of life and to be able to see more of what your part in everything is. These are the times that you came to earth for. To be here at these magical times when we would start working with your own physical bodies. Or your physical bodies need adjustments as well, dear ones. They were only designed to carry a certain percentage of your light. And here you are flooding yourself with so much more light, the bodies will adapt and they will change. The energetics of Earth had to shift first, and that is still in motion. But your physical bodies will start to increase their capability of holding more light. And we are not talking about the visible light in the spectrum. We're talking about beyond the cosmic rays. We're talking about the highest forms of light which humanity has yet to discover. Your sciences will eventually take you there. But until you have this evidence right in front of you, remember your magic. Remember who you are. Take the quantum leap past all of that and just jump into it. It is that simple. Not always easy, but simple. It is time for each of you to remember your truth and your magic and things that you can do, capabilities that you have. Dear ones, there are times on earth where we see right over your shoulder, we're watching you as you are frustrated with something you are trying to figure out, some conglomeration of energy which has a problem and you're trying to solve it, and we are laughing hysterically because you had the magic to do so very quickly inside the whole time, and you're looking for all the answers outside of yourselves. That has been the human way, but that is changing. This next year, we'll start introducing a new form of your inner magic. Greet it with open arms. Greet it and promise yourself to anchor it by using it in some way. Do not feel that there is lack in your world, dear ones, because that is the illusion. Many of you do not do something because you feel like it will take something away from someone else. And you are so incredibly sensitive to that that you don't want to make waves on your planet. Please start making waves. It is time to remember who you are, the magic within, and to start using it to create your world. You will find that planet Earth is changing and making that more of a possibility than you ever thought possible. It is with the greatest of honor, dear ones, that we greet you in these ways and walk you through these steps to see the evolution of humanity as we have predicted unfolding right before you every day. The magic is here. You hold the magic. And if nothing more, we hope to help you remember that. It is with the greatest of honor. We ask you to treat each other with respect, nurture one another at every opportunity. Remember, it's a brand new game you're playing. Play well together. Aspava, dear ones.
Aspavo. The holidays will be over just as quickly as they arrived, so enjoy every second of them.
Are you channeling Santa Claus? Is that what you're
yes.